very person he defeated in 2013. One, as a lawyer, I will tell you, the judiciary is supposed to be independent. But there is always the question of independence of thought. For instance, my thought as Weda is, on a scale of 1 to 10, leaning towards Jubilee. Just like my brother Sefuna here is heavily leaning on NASA. That is the independence of thought. Go back to the days of Mo. We used to have a permanent duty judge called Justice Nobari Dugdale. You would walk in and he would always give decisions in favor of the then Kanu regime. If you look at decisions that have been consistently against the IEBC, they have been done consistently from specific judges. So a Chief Justice can easily pick judges that he knows their thinking process. They are leaning, let me finish, young man.
Very unfortunate.
Please, let me finish. Against thinking in a particular way, and then you give them the decision, and they give you the result. So you talk about independence, but then independence of thought is not there. Now let's look at it this way. What this decision here was a timid decision which was ridiculous. It is good, it is correct that there was no public participation, and therefore it should have been. But when they decide to say 90% of the very decision that was not subjected to public participation is good, allow the ballot papers to go on. But when it comes to the presidency, then they tell you that this one is bad. That is not only ridiculous.
Are you in effect, Weda, then suggesting that the judiciary is leaning towards the opposition? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. Saying the judiciary is wrong. There are specific judges that are leaning towards the opposition. There are others also who are leaning towards government. So it's a question of whoever is selecting them to sit on a case.
So then
take Weda here.
In that case, then we don't have a free judiciary. That's what you're saying.
Freedom per se, please, let me tell you. Freedom 100% is not there. Freedom will only be there when there's freedom of thought. I've told you, Sefuna here is purely NASA. Weda here is purely Jubilee. So when we are judges, and we are all capable of being judges, when we sit there presenting, we are independent. But when our decisions come, they are leaning towards where our hearts are.
You see, I cannot believe that my senior actually can make such a statement, and it is extremely unfortunate.
Out of experience.
Extremely unfortunate that it would come from him. Number one, you will remember that when we went to the High Court initially, we were denied an order staying the printing of the ballot papers relating to the other positions. We were denied that order. And it is in recognition of the fact that IEBC has stated publicly that for all other positions, printing has already begun, that the High Court has said that we don't need to interfere with that process because it will occasion a lot of losses for the taxpayer who has already engaged, who has already expended money on this particular thing. Number two, we have a system of courts, and Weda should know this, that there is a form of appeal. If indeed there are gatekeepers in the Judicial Review Division, those cases or those things can actually be subjected to appeal, as indeed the IBC has threatened to do. And they have even lost on appeal. You remember the other case on declaration of results. They said the same thing. Are there gatekeepers for the opposition again in the Court of Appeal? If you have a problem with specific judges, and they are said it's specific judges of the of the High Court, what happened to the decision on the declaration of results at the polling station when it got to the Court of Appeal? And you have all the way to the Supreme Court. You have these avenues that are available for you. So it is quite ridiculous for anyone to sit here and claim that there are specific judges who are vanguards for the opposition. These people are vanguards for the law. And as I've said, Mike, the Constitution we have is robust. Something like public participation is not a suggestion. Under Article 10, this is a directive of the people of Kenya that any decision that you take has to be subjected to it. It's not a suggestion. So it is the Constitution beating back people like Weda, who believe that we can go back to a state where you can appoint judges in certain places to look out for your interests. It's ridiculous.
All right, can I comment as a layman? Because these guys are lawyers, they can be judges, and so on. You see, for us as lay people, when we look at judiciary, yes, we see the independence, and we can read the independence of